There's never a shortage of cool things to see at these marinas. And it just so happens that my neighbor, Charles, in addition to being a very experienced sailor, he's also a boat broker down here. And well, he offered to list the boat, and you know, I didn't even think about it really that much, but why not? You know, it seemed to me like, you know, could be a new chapter, an opportunity to do a different adventure. The other reason was because by listing the boat, regardless of whether it sells or not, I get an opportunity to present the boat and in its best light possible. It's like an incentive to go out and do some of the jobs that that I have been putting off just because they weren't necessary for my comfort. Last week I put in that that faucet in the bathroom. Well, I did almost the entire trip down Baja and down Central America without any faucet there at all. The only faucet that I had was in the galley. And it worked out fine for me, solo sailor. I just need the one faucet. But you know, when people come and they look at a boat to buy, you know, they're looking for reasons to, you know, take the boat down a notch in value and get you to agree on a lower price. So that's just the name of the game. So even if it doesn't sell, it's a win-win. Frog's Leap has been my life, really, certainly for the last couple of years, and in the 2 years preceding it, when I was, you know, in San Francisco and in San Diego, getting it ready, learning as much as I can about it. Well, I'm a lot more experienced now, but I still have a lot to learn with this boat. I think this boat has a lot more it could still teach me. So I'm not particularly like needing to sell it, but on the other hand, there are opportunities for me to do other things right now, and so should it sell, I would welcome that. And one of the things I have not done to date on the channel is given a proper tour of the interior of Frog's Leap. Most everyone has seen the exterior who's been watching these videos, so you know what Frog's Leap looks like on the outside from the cockpit or from other areas on the boat. So I'm going to kind of go through the interior with you in this episode, just because it's never been shown on Sailing Frog's Leap before. I hope you all enjoy this episode, an expose of what it is like, you know, inside of Sailing Vessel Frog's Leap. Enjoy. My name's Rick, and over the last couple of years, I've single-handed my sailboat Frog's Leap down the Pacific coast from San Francisco to Panama and through the Panama Canal. Frog's Leap and I are at Shelter Bay Marina in Panama, and I need a new mountain to climb. Stick around. We'll see if I can get my act together. Come on in. I'll give you a tour of the inside of Frog's Leap. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the V-berth and kind of move our way back, and I'll show you, you know, what it's like to live on this boat. So this is the V-berth, and it's got 2 cushions, and they're 5-inch thick cushions with the original upholstery. This is the main storage under the V-berth. I've got to be prepared to sail it, so I'll come back and sail it from time to time. So while it's being sold, all that stuff will be in here, and that's what says on the tape, that anything in here doesn't convey with the sale of the boat. So in here is the water tank and the sewage holding tank, but up here is additional storage under the V. And what you see there is there's 1, PFD, and then in the yellow bag is the spinnaker. Frog's Leap does have a spinnaker. This is just storage of my stuff. Yeah, that's the V-berth right there. I think they're coming right towards us. So while we're filming this, we have all our stuff out here because we're living on the boat. We know when you're living on the boat, you need other stuff. So right now, and we're bringing some stuff home too, but right now the boat looks, we're presenting it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just weird for me because I've been sailing it so aggressively for these last 2 years that it's tough for me even to wrap my head around the value of presenting it. Like, to me, the value is in sailing it, and it's tough. It's a tough one for me. Normally when I'm in here, this is right here, right? I mean, so to me, every little thing has a place. I think it's that way for every sailor, but it's weird for me to see it like this. But what are we looking at? This is the remote for the windlass. If you're interested in the boat, talk to Charles. Yeah. Yeah. This is a table, and that just falls down, holds right here. It's really convenient for, like, if you're playing games. Me and Dave, we played dominoes on this and mixed all kinds of epoxy on this. Normally it would fold out, and then there would be another support right here. You'd need another support right here, and I didn't bother putting anything like that together because this worked just fine for me. A new air horn. This is my Clear and Bright container. Why do I maintain a container full of diesel fuel? It's because 2 reasons. One, when I change my fuel water separator, you want to fill that to the top before you screw it in. So you need some diesel for that. So this is just clean diesel for that. And also, I can empty this into a jerry, and I can use this for a Clear and Bright test before I fuel if I have any kind of concerns of the fuel. So that's what that is. Also, I have a Seago water filter right here, and I have 2 spares of the filters. Here right now, there's no filter. When I'm in port, I have all the water I need. So I just run this straight, and I use it right out of here, you know, for cleaning, washing dishes, and stuff like that, but I don't use it for drinking. Underway, I'll shock the tank, add the filter, and I'll drink right out of the tank. With that filter, it tastes amazing and it's perfectly clean. I have a couple of extra tie downs. You'll see I tie down the dinghy with these tie downs, but I also will tie down the extra jerry cans. So we'll close this, and it just closes with a cotter pin right down here, like that. We have 2 installed fans in the boat. We have an exhaust fan here that goes through the overhead, and we also have a fan here that pulls air from the V-berth through the head and into here. So there's a constant circulation of air happening within the boat and also out of the boat. If you're laying in the V-berth, of course, there's the hatch overhead, which is fantastic. You also have the chain locker is up here. Here you've got 175 feet of 5/16 galvanized chain, and spliced to that is 100 feet of 5/16 3-strand nylon. So you've got about 275 feet of available road on Frog's Leap. I've never had to use any of the 3-strand. I put the 3-strand on there. I've never had to use it. I was concerned that maybe I didn't have enough with 175 feet. That maybe I didn't have enough coming down the Pacific, because sometimes the anchorages can be deep, right? Well, as it turns out, with the draft of this boat, 3 feet 8 inches, I mean, I was just never in a situation where, I think the most I ever put out was 150. Okay. So here's the head. This came with the boat, so, you know, I can't, like, it's superstitious for me, the sun god of the head, right? We've got a Raritan head here. We've got the sink. We've got water to the sink. We also have a little, I keep, I don't know, maybe it's habit since COVID, but I keep the disinfectant wipes here as well. So behind the toilet is just more wipes. I've got some random storage, so like sandpapers and things, spare parts, small spare parts. In here, I think we've got some spare electrical wire, general cleaning stuff, and general spare parts in there. And under the sink is more storage. There's also a drawer in here. Okay, this is a nice little thing to have. This is always full. Here, I'll keep like off or sunblock and stuff like that. This is always full normally. So this is the switchboard. Here's your main AC on off. Your bilge pump is down here. Auto, off, and manual on. So it's a 3-way toggle switch. This is your battery switch. I just keep it on all the time. So these are all your direct current, the DC side of the panel. Everything's done on Victron through the Victron Connect app. So when I say everything, I mean you can read the shunt for the battery, so you can get a sense for battery percentage, and also the solar charge controller. So you can get a sense how the solar panel is recharging the batteries and the status of the batteries. So everything's pretty much handled through the app. All of the plumbing for the galley actually runs under the settee and through here. They're both fresh water, but this is potable when it's going through the filter. And then this one doesn't go through any filter except for the pre-screener. There's the foot pump down there, so if I push it, you get that. Yeah. So what you have is you have your pre-screen, then you have your electric pump, then you have your pressure head, and then you have your filter, and then you turn it on right here. And you'll see it kick on. Yeah. And we turn it off. And then once it gets to its pressure, it shuts off. Well, there's the fridge. It has a bunch of stuff in it, but it'll be empty tomorrow. But you know, it's probably 3 feet deep, 2 feet back. It's got a little kind of an isotherm freezer. It's pretty good. So now I've never had a problem with it. Never ever had to mess with it. It just keeps going and going and going. Little Energizer fridge. All right, so we have storage behind here on both sides. So this is one of the storage compartments underneath the port settee. Okay, I don't have anything in it right now. The aft storage compartment on the port settee, and this is where I have all the canned goods. We have this table too, so you don't have a traditional nav desk in this boat. We have a table that comes out, and with big fiddles. I mean, those are at least like 2 1/4 inch fiddles. And so you can put stuff on here and it won't go flying while you're underway, which is great. Normally I have it out because I prefer to have the counter space. So, but showing the boat, I think I'll keep it down for now. And then right here we have it's normally used as garbage, but I actually don't use it as that, and I just use it as storage because you know, these things are hard to get down here in Panama, and Kieran brought some down for me, which really makes cleaning go easier. It's hard to find really good absorbent shop towels down here. Here we've got some storage up here. It's pretty full of random stuff. You can also keep stuff up here, and you can store a lot of stuff behind this starboard settee. It's really wide. It's a good storage area here. Beyond this bulkhead forward is the head. So the under settee access right here, you have access to the MSD's valve, overboard discharge valve. Another access right here, which is all just storage that goes with the boat. So if we look down here, so you can see that I have quite a few jerry cans. I actually have 7 jerry cans on this boat. Behind those jerry cans and behind that panel that I made that says Island Packet, I have an extra wheel pilot, brand new wheel pilot for Frog's Leap. So I've never had to use it. I've had the current wheel pilot on Frog's Leap for the last 2 years, and it's been bulletproof. So, you know, if you know how to use them and you're careful clutching in and out, you're just never going to have a problem with those things. And they're perfect because they don't draw a lot of current. What's your current draw? Because this boat completely runs off a 210 watt solar panel mounted on the davits. What else would I show you? What else did I miss
Right
anything,
here?
Karen? Oh yeah, so this is the Bilge. And it's kind of cool because it's got this little ashtray. Anything that falls on the ground is going to get caught in the ashtray, and you can just easily put it in the garbage. But this is the Bilge, and it has a downwards ramp. So if you were to follow that all the way down, you'd eventually get to the bottom of the Bilge where the stuffing box is. Like right about here, there's a piece of plywood that has maybe like a 3-inch gap from the bottom of the Bilge, and there's a similar thing here. So you have a little bit of storage this way and a little bit of storage that way. So you can use it as storage, and I usually try to keep like extra water and things down there, just to keep the weight as low as possible. That's also the reason why I don't keep these on deck, because the boat is so naturally tender. Well, that was Charles there, sitting there. He's so patient, you know. He let me walk him through all the thought process behind everything. So if you have any questions, definitely want to give him a call, and he can fill in all the blanks for you for sure. I have no idea what the engine hours. This is, I'm sure, the original engine, but it's the original Yanmar. And I'm telling you, man, going through the canal, they made me go 5 knots. I went 2,500 the whole way across, and she didn't even hesitate. Now, she's not attached to anything. She's completely isolated. There's no water heater on this boat, like a lot of boats are encumbered with, their engines are encumbered with the water heater. That used to be behind that island packet thing, so I took that out, and that's now storage, but you know, every boat owner has a plan. That would have been the future home of 200 or 300 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate. And it could still happen, you know, who knows. But behind there right now is an extra wheel pilot and motor. So should that wheel pilot give anybody any trouble, there's a whole brand new one in there. But I will tell you, that thing's been bulletproof for 2 years. Is that a CVT? Or no, what is it? It's a wheel pilot, so it's got the belt. Oh, Ray Marine or? Ray Marine. Yeah. But it's an EV100, so it's the same. It's a good head. Not that old 4,000 whatever thing. It's not that. No. Well, with Frog's Leap safely in Charles's hands, it's time to head back to the States. Yeah, Karen and I, we're going to put the finishing touches on a relocation from the West Coast to the East Coast, and we've got a wedding to go to. More on all that in future episodes.